So this interesting little shrub here is called Melicope simplex. I don't think it's got a common name. This is what's called a divaricating shrub, where excuse me, where the branch angle is quite steep, and you tend to find most of the leaves on the inside of these shrubs. And there are several hypotheses for that, none of which has been, determined once and for all. But the classic hypothesis is to prevent mower browse. So if it looks really twiggy on the outside and all the leaves are in the middle, then it might look like it's dying and the mower will pass it up. Or the other thing is that it protects the leaves on the inside, and when the mower would try and strip the leaves like emus do, it would get only a few leaves. It's a bit of a waste of its time, and these are quite strong and flexible, so if you look at that, that's not breaking. So it'd be very hard for a mower to pull off the branch, So I'm going to take a cutting off that, but first I'll show you a bit about how to identify it. So this is sometimes confused with Rokawa anomalous, or Rao Ano is a 6-letter code, but to me it looks quite different. For starters, this has a very dark stem, whereas Rokawa anomalous, Rao Ano, has a very light stem. This also tends to have straighter stems, so you see this primary stem coming out here is quite straight, and then you have steep angled branches coming off the side. But in Rokawa anomalous, you kind of get a zigzag effect where the main branch will come out here and you get a little side branch out here, and then in the next intersection the main branch will come back this way and the minor shoot will come out that way. So you get it like a main branch doing this zigzagging effect. So to me it looks quite different. The other thing is the leaves. So Rokawa anomalous has quite round leaves. These are not always pointed, but if you have a look, trying to get it in focus there, but these have they're kind of shaped like spades in the suit of cards. Spades. It's quite flat on the bottom and then curving and then coming to almost a sort of a point at the end, whereas Rokawa anomalous is very much more rounded, more like a circle. These also have, this one's better over there. Might be able to see that it's got some serrations. Rokawa anomalous has not quite teeth, they're like rounded. The one thing that's very distinctive about this is the petiole. So the petiole is a stalk that attaches the leaf to the stem. So this leaf blade plus the petiole makes a leaf, and the petiole of this is quite long and it's actually jointed. I don't know if you can see that, but if it gets in focus we might be able to see it. This isn't working for me. So anyway, there's a little joint, and maybe if I move it, see? It's a little like a hinge. And this is actually the petiole here. You can't really see it because it's not in focus, but it's winged. So there's like the main stalk of it, and then it's got these little side flanges, if you will. And that's very distinctive. So long petiole with wings and a joint and little leaves like this is almost bound to be Melicope simplex. And you can see here we've actually got a compound leaf. So a compound leaf is simply a leaf that is divided into leaflets. So if you think of like a bean or celery or a fern, those are all, these little divisions are called leaflets. So they're not separate leaves, they're part of the same leaf. And New Zealand plants often do this, where they have different juvenile leaves from mature leaves, and it's very variable. So, here we have new leaves, but they're simple, not compound, same as over here. But here looks like we've got one leaf that's simple and one is compound, and same over here where we were. So very variable, but that's the juvenile foliage. Juvenile leaves in New Zealand plants are often more dissected or divided than the adult leaves, and this actually resembles a little bit the other Melicope species in New Zealand, Melicope tunata or whārangi, and that grows along the coast, and some of you may recognise it as similar to like a citrus rootstock, Citrus trifoliata, and these are actually in the same family, same as whārangi. And if you smell this, which you can't, but I can, it smells very citrusy. So, I mean, that's a very distinctive feature of this. If you're wondering what the heck all these small leaf shrubs are, and you pick a leaf and it smells like citrus, and it looks sort of like this, then it's bound to be Melicope simplex. So there you have it, Melicope simplex. I'll take a cutting, maybe this one will do. There we go, and I could stick that into soil. I'm actually going to cut this into several bits, or maybe take another cutting or two, and I'm going to strip the base of the stem down like that, and that'll expose the cambium layer just underneath the bark, which is the generative tissue. So that's where all the leaves and roots and other stuff goes on, and so roots will come out of the cambium there. I'm going to stick that in a mug of water, change the water frequently, probably every day, and put it somewhere with light, and eventually, maybe in a month or 5 months or sometime, it'll have roots on, hopefully. I haven't propagated this before, but I'm going to give it a go. So there you have it, Melicope simplex, a fragrant citrus-scented divaricating shrub, resistant to